Hi guys, and welcome to Svetlana's Corner. My name's Svetlana, and what do you think of my nails today? I actually did silver nails. I scraped them against something and it turned into these blue flecks on it. And I think it was candy I scraped it on. I don't know. Why am I asking this? Because it actually has to do with today's video. There's a couple of videos I've been watching online that other people were making, and it talks about items that are banned in the prison system. I talked to my loved one who also had some things to say about those items. So we're gonna criticize or not. Let's go ahead.
I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.
Let's take a look at that. There have been a lot of videos about the items that are banned in prisons. We're talking about US prisons. Like I said, I talked to my guy and he had some feedback on those. Some he agreed with, some not so much, and some he said, whoever made that, it was out to lunch. So I watched about 5 different videos, so different opinions, and I guess you get to hear opinion number 6. Before we do go into that, I did forget to say, make sure you subscribe and hit thumbs up, because who doesn't like to be liked? Anyway, first, before I list the items, let me clarify that prisons can find anything to make it a contraband. Trust me, if they want to make it a contraband, they will do that. So whether it makes sense or not, they will find ways to make it a contraband. Another thing is rules vary from federal prison to state prison. They vary from one facility to another, from one guard sometimes, or CO or cop, whatever you want to call them, to another. So that's my disclaimer. Just wanted to put that out there. All right, so I got my little notepad because as I was talking and writing notes, I didn't want to miss any. So I'm gonna read these as I try to make eye contact with most of you. So first thing that those videos mention, that these items are banned and they're found by guards after they search the cells. So what they do is they announce planned shakedowns, they search the cells, and that's how they find the items. So number 1 was, I didn't need to ask my guy on that one. I was laughing my head off because shakedowns are never planned or announced in advance at all. That's the whole point of surprise. We found the items. So just right there, I was laughing myself. So I didn't need help with that one. But some of the odd ones that were listed, I'm going to go through because those I didn't know for sure. And again, keeping in mind that they do vary between places. Anyway, we'll go into gum. I like gum. Anyway, according to that video, it says gum is not allowed because inmates can make impression of keys. So, according to my guy here, he said, no way. Okay, no. No inmate will ever get their hands on keys. If they wanted to do an impression, they'll probably use putty, according to him, not gum. But anyway, that's beside the point. No inmate will ever get their hands on that set of keys. It just won't happen. However, gum could be used to jam the door locks, especially those chutes in the hole. Sometimes they do have the ability to do that, but they don't typically want to use gum. And by the way, if you're in the hole, if you try to jam that chute, the guard will just slam it anyway. Your arm could be cut off. So normally they don't do that. Why do they leave the chutes open, by the way? It's so they can douche or gas the guard. This is where you have water or bodily fluids that are thrown at the guards. Anyway, there's a whole different story behind that one, but basically, no, they don't use gum for that whatsoever. Guards will not let those chutes stay open, and they'll smash the arm off. Anyway, but inmates do love gum. It does sell at the commissary or canteen, whatever you call it, and it's very expensive at the places that do allow it. Why is it so expensive? Because if people can't have it, they want it even more, or if it's really hard to be found available, they want it even more. And if they don't sell it, they want it even more. Therefore, gum sells for a lot in prison. Just an FYI. Okay, next is If you've ever sent books to a loved one in prison, you know that they say no spiral-bound notebooks. So this video claims that spiral-bound, the rings can be used to pick a lock. Again, no. Inmates don't use that to pick a lock. They would rather use paper clips, and many have. They know how to use paper clips to get out of those handcuffs if needed to. Not that it lasts long, but they know how to do it. So another claim is those rings can be made into a weapon. Again, I asked my guy that. He goes, you know what? Everything can be made into a weapon. Anything. Just, anything. So, yeah, that's kind of a no. Okay, next one. R-rated or violent movies, books, magazines. So I mentioned that to him, and he said, that makes no sense. If you want to watch movies, there's no TVs in the cell. There's no DVD players. There's no VCRs, anything like that. They don't have those in the cells in the United States. So it doesn't matter if you have that video, because there's no way in HELL you are going to watch those videos. So I don't know. He laughed at that one. When it comes down to the rest of the material, so different facilities will allow different magazines, books, etc. Some will allow almost any books, even the whole. And then others will let you only have a Bible. And I mean just the original St. James Catholic Bible, no other religion. So like I said, it does vary from facility to facility. They do mention soft cover books from approved vendors. They're allowed. And again, that depends which facility you're in. Some allow Barnes & Noble, some allow Amazon, some allow Walmart.com. I have sent them through Amazon only. That's just in Canada the easiest one. Anyway, what they do is they watch for anything in terms of escape theme, anything that has to do with rebelling authority. But come on, these guys already think of rebelling authority. If they want to think about escape, you don't think they would have thought about escape by now? But there's actually one book. It was something that a lot of inmates have read. It's called 48 Laws of Power. I never read it. I should maybe. Apparently, it's now banned in pretty much every prison out there. And it used to be a very popular book in the libraries there. I don't know. Anyway, so you're allowed soft covered books. You're not allowed hard covered books. And they say it's because of violence, because this could be made into a heavy weapon. Again, we already just discussed that anything can be made into a weapon. That heavy book, it's not going to do much if you hit somebody over the head or anywhere else with it, really. That's not the reason. But they do ban hardcover books. That part is true. The actual reason for that is because you can hide things right in the spine there. Razor blades, drugs, they're popular things to hide in there. So that is actually why they're not allowed. So paper books only, and then soft cover books only kind of thing. No hardcover books for that reason. This one was an interesting one. Sleep masks. You know those masks you have, you drift off into a peaceful sleep. So I mentioned this to my guy, and he just kind of stopped. He goes, what? He's never even actually seen a sleep mask. I had to send him a picture of it. So no, that's actually whatever videos that mention it. Nobody thinks of those. That nobody would spend money on those sleep masks. Come on. And if you even get them in prison, how expensive would they be? And why would they spend money on that? So most inmates, they'll just use a towel, or they wear a hat. They'll just pull their hat down. That's pretty much what they will do. Some use earplugs. In case their cellie snores, or they want the outside noise to be kind of calmed down. But not all facilities allow headphones or earplugs, and so that kind of varies there. But yeah, sleep masks, they've never heard of it. All right, so then next one, stored bodily fluids. Wow, I don't have any stored bodily fluids. But anyway, my guy said the same thing, is nobody sits and collects bodily fluids for days. Nobody does. They're not that crazy. However, sometimes in the hole, also known as solitary confinement, for those of you who do not know how U.S. prison works, inmates do store urine in little shampoo bottles. They then, douche the guards, which we discussed previously, whole different thing. But no, they don't specifically sit and store bodily fluids for unknown reasons. Big one was staples and paper clips. That was actually a debate because sometimes they've been allowed and sometimes they haven't. So he says sometimes you can actually get your paperwork from your lawyer and there's staples in there or paper clips in there, which is really weird. If they're banned, they'll actually allow them in, but then you get in trouble for having them. So it's kind of a little controversy on that one. So most prisons don't allow them. And sometimes you can go to the hole for having that. It is considered a contraband. And yet, like I said, sometimes you'll get documents from your lawyer that have the paper clips in them. And sometimes if you go see your counselor, they have paper clips on their desk. So this one was weird. But yeah, they can pick the locks on their handcuffs with the paper clips. So is it banned? Yes. Should it be there to begin with? Then no. So that one was kind of an iffy. Okay, the next one was hoarding items, especially food and toilet paper. That is definitely not allowed in most prisons, most U.S. prison facilities. So why do inmates hoard items? Well, because they don't have enough, right? They never have enough food. They definitely do not get enough toilet paper. Trust me on that one. They do not get enough. Toilet paper is like gold sometimes. But guards will actually go into the cells. They throw out all the extra, I'm going to use that in quotes, extra items. So anything like food will get tossed out. Anything like clothing, you're only allowed so many shirts. You might be allowed so many pants. You're only allowed one pair of shoes, that kind of thing. So they will toss those items. So if you just bought a pair of shoes to replace the worn out ones you have, make sure you throw out the worn out ones really, really fast because they do ban hoarding. Maybe they should supply more, but that's a topic for a different day. Anyway, next one. I say the word next one a lot in this video. So next one, pencils. All right, so a lot of the inmates mention this. They're only allowed these tiny, tiny little golf pencils. And some are not allowed pens. They only get the rubber pens. I don't know if you've seen those. Sometimes the banks have them, but they're allowed rubber pens. Why do they not allow them? Because you can take a pencil and stab somebody. Again, you could probably find better ways of stabbing someone. But besides that, those are items that are banned. But most people in prison write a lot. And that little pencil just doesn't last long. So what they do is they just, I use my straw. They take the little pencil and they tape another one to it and then another one, because especially guys have big hands. So they'll tape a bunch of stuff to it. And that is how they write. So sometimes if your letters look like chicken scratch, that could be why. I know mine have been really nicely written, but my guy writes really nicely. So here's the weird part. Every inmate in a prison system has a right for pen and paper because of legal documents. So supply them with that. Come on. Okay. All right. I mentioned my nails, so let's get to that. Candy. No, nails are allowed in prison. Candy is not. So if you ever had those colored M&Ms or any colored candy, the shells of the colored candy actually can be made into paint, makeup, or tattoo ink, which is why a lot of the colored M&Ms are banned in the prison system. So that is actually right. All right. Let's see. Jewelry. So inmates are allowed to have a wedding ring or one piece of religious jewelry valued under $100. Usually if they get that, it goes through the chaplain's office commonly. So when I talked to my guy about it, yeah, I mean, that's what he mentioned. However, he also added that nobody really wears heavy jewelry. They just don't. It's heavy. You go place to place, you're working out. You don't want heavy jewelry. The videos mention that heavy jewelry can be used to strangle someone. Again, not that he's talking about how to strangle someone, but he says there are more effective ways to make a weapon in prison. There's better ways, or there's more harmful ways, I should say, to hurt somebody rather than using jewelry. That's just takes too long, too obvious. Not that I'm advocating for that, but yeah, he says the reason they don't allow heavy jewelry is robberies happen, and then somebody steals from you. Obviously, that creates a problem. So heavy jewelry is not allowed, but that is the reason, not because it's this extreme value or because you're going to look too cool for your buddies. Okay, the next item they mention is chessboard, as well as playing cards and things of that nature. So this was, again, a topic we had. He said that actually playing cards are allowed. They're even sold at the commissary where he's at. So you can buy the playing cards. And even if they were not available or somebody didn't have money, inmates actually, I know he did. He makes cards and he makes a chessboard. He loves chess. He's a big fan of chess. So he actually sits there making a chessboard. He made a board out of cardboard. He's made little figurines out of loose leaf paper or toilet paper, and he sits there playing chess, and then, you know, he'll switch the board around and play the other guy or whatever. He'll play it with somebody or he'll play alone. He loves chess. So those are actually not banned. You can buy the playing cards. You can buy chess boards, chess pieces in the commissary, but if you can't, you can make them. So they're not actually banned. Actually, what he told me was, in fact, prison want inmates to be busy, because if you're busy, you're not in trouble, right? So why would they ban something that keeps you occupied? One thing is, where this video might have caught that idea, is prisons don't like gambling because debts may lead to fights or death or riots, or, you know, again, we can go on that tangent, but yeah. So the next item was tobacco. Now, he actually told me that they used to sell tobacco at the commissary, and it has been removed. And not for the reasons you think. It's not because the DOC, that's Department of Corrections, legally called Department of Correction, called Department of Confusion, Department of Corruption, whatever you want to call it. The DOC does not care about the inmate's health. Trust me, that's not why they removed it. It's about inmate control. They removed it because they can. So, yeah. But as we always know, when somebody wants something, they will get it. And so removing it kind of made it senseless. He always says he wished that they brought it back because a lot of people do find it. They pay for it, obviously illegally. It creates a lot of problems. They should have just had it right at the commissary like they did before. He's never used it, but he's seen guys fight over how to get it. So it's kind of ridiculous that they removed it. Anyway, again, as he says, somebody always finds drugs, alcohol, tobacco, whatever it is that they need. They either make it, they get it brought in, whether it is by guards, whether it is by family members, whatever methods. So, like I said, he mentioned that they should have just kept it at the commissary. A lot less problems. But again, we're dealing with Department of Confusion here. And so I have one more, and this is the last one, and I'm going to get you guys to laugh here because I did. Sex, toys, and masturbation. Actually, masturbation was not allowed at all in prisons for a long time. There are some people that have sued prison over this. Men actually sued prison because doctors say that for men over 40, this is a healthy way to keep your prostate active, which lessens possibility of prostate cancer. So that was a lawsuit done years and years and years ago. So since then, they cannot actually make it illegal, but still, you know, you're not going to stand there and do it in front of the guard, obviously. If they see you doing it, they get mad. You can be in the hole, or you could just get a warning, or whichever else. So it's not banned, but they don't like it. But they can no longer actually make it illegal because that lawsuit went through. So as for the sex toys, especially in female prisons. I don't know about the female prisons. I've never been in a prison myself, but I heard that they're objects that women use. I don't know what they are. So if anybody knows, please feel free to put that in the comments. So why do they ban things like that? Again, control. It is an attempt to control. So here's the thing though. I didn't know this, but he told me that in a male prison, guys do have sex toys. They're actually dolls, and they're called Fifi dolls. And I don't really want to describe it, so instead I'm going to pop a picture for you guys because it's a lot funnier to see it. But there's Fifi dolls. They have them. He told me about a guy that actually makes it as a hustle. You know, he makes these in prison. He makes them in different races, different hair colors, different hairdos, different outfits. I mean, you know, this guy makes quite a lot of money making Fifi dolls. And sometimes guys buy them. Sometimes they give them to each other as gag gifts. Anyway, so that was actually interesting. So is it banned in prison? No. Do guards want to walk around seeing them? No, but people have them. So anyway, that is my list of items that I saw in those videos that I didn't think made sense. Just because of the way they describe it. These are items that are banned. This is the reason. It didn't really make sense to me, and I wanted to check with somebody who's actually been in a prison system, or I should say is currently in the prison system, get his feedback on that. So there you go. I hope this made you laugh. It was not any educational or hardcore video. It was just something funny, and I wanted to laugh and get you guys to laugh along with me. So if there's anything you found that's banned and ridiculously so, please put that in the comments. We'll all laugh at it together, right? And if I'm mistaken on it, hey, I don't know. I'm not in prison. I just wanted to watch some of the videos and find out. So I'm going to end on this note, and I hope to see you at the next video. Have a good day. Mwah.